Cutler Bay has changed immensely since I think I arrived here in 1964, and it was a very small working class community at that time.
I moved to Cutler Bay when I was 12. My father retired from a career in the Army. This town was built to support the ladies and gentlemen that served our country out of Homestead Air Force Base. And at that time, Cutler Bay still had tomato fields on US 1. I thought we'd moved to the farms instead of Miami.
I moved to Cutler Bay in 1976. My father was in the Air Force. We moved down here from Kansas. We moved off base to Cutler Bay, or Cutler Ridge at the time, as did a lot of military families.
Cutler Bay is, for me, one of the few places in South Florida that still qualifies as a small town. And you see it in the events that we hold, you see it just driving around, going to our parks, going to shops and restaurants. It really has maintained that small town feel.
Even the community has grown tremendously. I think the values have stayed the same, and it's what's made us a very desirable community to live in.
I've been here since I was 3 years old. Started in Homestead Air Force Base and then migrated up to Cutler Bay. Been here my whole life, raised my son here. Actually, my son and stepson played soccer here, right on this field. And Cutler Bay is just, I feel like it's one of the last hometowns. I don't care if I ever live anywhere else. I really love this town, and I'm here for life.
Truthfully, I had no idea that I was the youngest member to ever be serving on this council, but I think it goes to speak to what our town is all about. I think if you have a town that people feel passionate about, regardless of what age they are, or what they represent, I think people want to be involved.
Not only do the people here care for each other, but everybody who's ever represented them is not looking out for their own interests, but they're looking out for the community's interest.
Franjo Park, I mean, that was one of the center points of our community back in the day. That park was in desperate need of being rebuilt. It was just a lot of great excitement watching that park go through the evolution stage from what we knew of the park as we were kids, because I played there when I was a kid, my son played there. But just watching the transformation of that park from where it was to where it is today is just phenomenal. I mean, state-of-the-art everything.
The town of Cutler Bay has committed itself to preserving some of the environmental character in our town, whether it's becoming a tree city and planting thousands of trees across our town, to locating, identifying, and then acquiring environmentally sensitive properties to prevent them from being developed.
We finally acquired 8.5 acres on Old Cutler Road, which is right next to environmentally sensitive lands. That was slated for development for homes, and we decided that we need to protect that green space, because you know what, they're not making any more of it. We took the step of making sure that green space was going to stay green forever, and we reached out and bought that land.
Biscayne Bay plays a really large part of what we do. It's in our fiber. So the environment is just one of those things that everybody in the town values. Whether you're going out fishing, whether you're enjoying a park or going outdoors, the environment is so important, and we only have one.
I love the natural aspect of living here, so close to a big city, to Miami and Miami Beach. And yet we have alligators here, we have the vultures, we have dolphins. I go paddleboarding, so I see manatees. It's amazing how much nature is left in this area.
Well, the Environmental Task Force is our newest group of volunteer citizens meeting in committee to propose updates to the town's green master plan, as well as the regulations that we have. They are working right now on these recommendations, and in the coming months they will be presenting to the council.
One of the exciting projects we were able to open up this year was our brand new canoe kayak launch. We specifically made sure that we added an educational portion to the canoe kayak launch, right? So it's just not a kayak launch. We added pavilions, and the idea is that eventually that we can start inviting schools to hold educational classrooms there.
Recently, FEMA rolled out FEMA 2.0, but unfortunately for the residents of Cutler Bay, that means many of our residents will see an increase in their flood premiums up to $275 to $325 a year. However, over 10 years ago, our town staff started working on increasing our CRS rating, our floodplain rating with FEMA. And at this point, we've got it up to a 4, which means most of our residents can save approximately $274 a year on their flood, which really offsets that FEMA increase. And we're very, very close to moving to CRS 3, which will move that up to $325 for some of the average residents.
We're working with our partners in the county to completely renovate and redo Franjo Road. So it was $8.9 million that the county is paying for. They're footing the bill. We don't have to pay anything. It's not coming out of our taxes. It's not coming out of anywhere, but we're going to get all the benefits. And ultimately, Franjo Road is going to be just as great as Caribbean Boulevard, as Old Cutler Road, where we have bike lanes, we have medians, we have left turn lanes on Caribbean. That's just going to completely change the way that we navigate that road.
One of the things about Cutler Bay is that sense of community. And one of the ways that we keep that going is the wonderful events that we have here in Cutler Bay. Recently we just had our 16th birthday bash. We had 5 bands. It was a free event out in the park. It's a beautiful day. The crowds were amazing. Everybody there had a great time. We have golf cart parades. Recently we had the Halloween golf cart parade, and I'll call it the success of it was great because we had too many golf carts where we couldn't move. But that's a good thing. I'd rather be too popular than have a dead event.
Our police department has a neighborhood resource unit who is a group of police officers that attend HOA meetings, they do business checks, they're at all of our events. They sometimes settle neighborhood disputes or disputes between neighbors, and they're incredibly approachable, and that's unique to Cutler Bay.
The federal government allocated through the county $500,000 through the CARES Act, and Cutler Bay created 2 programs, one for Cutler Bay residents who were behind on their mortgage or rent because of COVID-related issues, or 2 had daycare issues because of COVID. But we weren't able to use all that money, so we had $150,000 left over, and we came up with a plan to help our small businesses. So we reached out to our small businesses to sign up what we call the cash card program. And we offered these cash cards to our residents. We gave our residents $500 cash cards to be used only on small local businesses in Cutler Bay. And by small local, it means under 20 employees, not national chains. And it's been very, very successful.
One of the things I learned when I was getting prepared for the budget process, as it was my first one, was that Cutler Bay was named #1 in efficient government spending and #1 in government size by the Florida House of Representatives in 2020. I found that to be very important because they were very prudent with the spending and the dollars from the town. And it shows that the residents can have trust in the town and its decision-making abilities.
I think the thing that I am most excited about is our 16 acres of newly acquired land in the heart of Cutler Bay. It's been said many times before, whoever's creating Manhattan was smart enough to look forward and create Central Park and preserve that land forever. And we're doing the same thing, I hope. My vision for that land is to create a space which will be the gathering place in the heart of Cutler Bay.
You can just think of the amenities that we can have, and they're just a huge gathering place for our residents. You know, an amphitheater, or farmers markets. I mean, just the ideas are just endless.
We partnered with the University of Miami School of Architecture to help us conceptualize what this space could be.
I suggested, look, I'm a professor at University of Miami. I can teach a design studio. And in that design studio, I'll get the most talented students. And so these are the top 12 students in there that are both undergraduate and graduate students that are taking this design studio with the idea of looking at different options and different ideas. The concept is what we're doing right now. Present to the public a number of different ideas of what direction we can go.
We've done 2 workshops so far where people came, they drew, they moved the blocks around, they showed us where they wanted things, and then we took it and made it kind of our own. So that's why everyone has such a unique design. Me, I parceled out my land to be very walkable, bikeable, golf cartable, and something that everyone can enjoy, everyone can visit, and it's safe for everyone and fun.
But what's really important, I think, for the residents is that they should educate themselves and they should get involved and they should put some thought to what they'd like to see there. Take the survey that we have online, tell us what your ideas are, because truly it is their land, it is their property, it is the residents' park, and they should let their voice be heard.
I think we're probably the best community in all of Florida. Many people that come here not only just talk about our golf carts and our events, but they actually just talk about the feel that this place has, the community vibe that this place has, the care that this place has. I'm honored to be here. I'm more than honored to be the mayor of this place. It's just a wonderful hometown.